Hello, Facebook world. This is Dan Hartman, the director of the Glen Sheen Mansion here in Duluth, and I'm here for another Facebook Live. Sorry, I had a couple-day break there. Just had other activities at 3 o'clock I needed to attend to. So today, though, I'm going to take some of the advice that people said online, and we are going to do a deep dive into the formal dining room. And so it is a crazy nice day out in Duluth today. So I will say I literally just started this fire, so it might pick up that crackling sound really loud. And as you can probably tell, the computer that I work from is directly in front of me. The camera is right here, so I go back and forth like this. As I say in all my lives, if you have something you really want to hear about, or you have that dying question you want to know about lynching, please ask it. At the end of the live, I will read my comments, and I will try to answer any question you have. I will do it. See, it's a real fireside chat. Even when I don't need a fire, and it's super nice outside, we do a fire. So, hello from Fort Worth, Texas. That's pretty far away. Thank you. Yeah, I try to make these kind of quirky and fun. So, once again, any questions, I will try to go through them, especially at the end. But without further ado, I will break into the formal dining room of Glen Sheen. So it's going to start a little quirky because some of my files are just too large to put into a PowerPoint. So I will start here. So as you can see, this is a photo of the formal dining room table when it's set up for a small event. And so you'll notice that it's not very large. Well, the majority of the time, this is actually how the Conans had this arranged. It was usually set up very simple because it was just Chester and Clara actually at the table, and maybe a couple kids. And so this is the usual arrangement. What I really like about this photo is it shows the high level of decor that was brought forward, and this style of decorating today has come back clearly. You see this a lot. Notice also how the formal dining room doors are actually shut. Those pull-out doors are shut, and then the curtains are actually even pulled forward. So you can see the decorative nature of that curtain right here, and you can't see into the hallway. And so I think this helps conclude that often when they have these meetings, that's probably what they would do. Hello from Bagley, Minnesota. And Deb thinks, I'm glad to hear you look forward to these. I look forward to them too. They're kind of fun. But I also love the arrangement of food on the table. Just that level of decor, I think, gives a little bit of a window into how the family would have had a dinner. And you can see it's very much a formal affair. So we'll close out of that one. And then this is another one of those historic photographs looking from the fireplace over. And in this shot, you can really get a glimpse of the room is pretty much arranged like we have it now. We've even made that table small so that people could, once again, visualize how it was to be Chester and Clara Condon. It also helps get a little bit more room in there. I debate bringing it down to that very small size just so we can really show people how it felt for Chester and Clara versus a little bit of an extended family. Sorry, those are all my tools. And also here, you'll notice that there's the same furniture that's in the room. You'll see that we've also moved the paintings around a little bit. We're probably due to rearrange it again. Something I'm always curious about is it looks like it's the same wall covering that's in there now, but it may not have been. Early writing suggested it was actually a green color, not this more champagne color that it is in there today. And so X out of this one. And then this is the view of the dining room going the other direction. And so now, once again, you can see that the curtain is open, the doors are open, the hallway looks darkened. But you can really kind of see that most of this room is arranged just like it is today. And I have not seen the child Hassam painting yet. But even though I love the little decor in the center of the table, very simple, a very elegant room. I love that in this little photo you can see the bend mark in the photograph up on the top here, which I think makes it just a little bit more real. There you go. I'll close. Any questions on these historic photographs? Feel free to ask. I can bring them back up again later. Personally, I love the old ones. We've come out with several books in recent years. By far, my favorite one is we have this little black and white book that is just only the historic photographs of Glensheen. And I think that one's the best, personally. I always recommend it. So let's go to the PowerPoints. And I don't know why it's not showing up in both. Sorry, guys. There we go. That's what I was looking to do. All right. Now the PowerPoint. I'm going to delete this. Start here. Bam. There we go. So it'd been a lot smoother had I been able to put those in there. But it's kind of fun to make it authentic and you see that this is a real thing. So here's a photograph taken by Brian French, again, part of that Hidden Glensheen series from a few years ago. But really, Brian did a great job of doing some close-up shots and some larger shots like this one. I like this one because it shows that yellow tinge that would have been part of that original feel in this room through that chandelier light in the center. It also highlights the size of the table when it's fully extended. The table fully extended obviously can fit quite a bit more than the four that you saw earlier. This is a question from Bob Moore asking about whether the ceiling, the Italian ceiling, is really truly shipped over and ordered. I will get to that later. Great question, Bob. So let's go through. So let's start with that table. Some of the details that I like about the table are actually when you get under the table. And so look at the carving work in this original table made out of mahogany. At this close-up level, you can really appreciate the carving work and just frankly the design of the table itself. Probably the most common popular feature in the dining room table that people we talk about on Turby sometimes don't see is the button underneath. And so on both sides of the table, there are these little call buttons so that you can alert someone in the kitchen or in the butler's pantry that someone needs some assistance in the dining room. We can tell you, because we have the original rug still, that this cord that you see coming from the bell would have gone to the center of the table and then would have gone into a hole cut in the center of this really expensive Persian rug, and then it would have been dragged under the rug into the floor. But it is a massive cut in the original rug, so I always feel bad about that. And I apologize. I am at my house, so you may hear my kids crying upstairs. One is right now. I don't know what about. This is the door to the butler's pantry, and you may have been told this story by a tour guide that we used to say that the butler would hang up behind this door waiting to see if someone needs assistance, and that may have been entirely true, and the butler would have been hidden because most of that window is kind of colored. But you'll see there are a couple holes that are very clear, and so it would allow them to see. I don't really know if that's a true thing or not. It could definitely be one of those legends, but it's a good story. Also here is the front of that mahogany cabinet on the east side of the room. You can really see that flamed or feathered mahogany. It's just showcased extremely well here, and clearly that was the intent. People ask, what is our staff doing right now during COVID? So we have a very limited number of employees who are allowed to be at Glensheen, and our historic housekeepers right now are getting everything ready for the summer, but what they're doing is polishing like these little pieces you see on the ends here throughout the home so that when people show up in the summer, it looks as good as it's ever going to look. And here is a piece of one of the handles on the same side of that cabinet, but just look at the detail that you see in this cabinet. This is one of my personal favorite pieces in the room, is the andirons in the formal dining room fireplace, and I may have a daughter join me here soon. But the andirons are actually from the Cobble Company of New York, which we've talked about in the past, one of the best interior design companies. Hold on. Olivia, come here, babe. Come here. Come here, babe. Mom went on. He's not here right now. Hey, can you say hi? And so, can you want to look at the photos with me together?
Yeah.
Okay. So these andirons are actually plated silver. They need to get polished. One of our housekeepers named Andy does a marvelous job at this every year. We actually have to clean it with a bamboo toothpick. These things are about yay big, size of a forearm. And then you stand there and you got to pick out the debris inside of these small crevices. It takes hours upon hours of work. Are you okay, babe? Sibling rivalry upstairs. So I can tell by her cry whether she's hurt or whether she is mad at her brother, which it was the second one. And so we'll go to this one. This is another close-up of one of the plated silver in the house. And this is right above the fireplace. But once again, I just love the detail in this work. Is for me, again and again and again, what's unique about Glensheen is just the high level of detail in the house. Notice the little plate behind here, also for just the electrical box. This is one of my favorite paintings in the house. It wasn't in the historic photographs, but it's the child Hassam painting. It's one of the more unique paintings we have in the house. It's one of the great American Impressionists we have. But also what I love about this is the Condons didn't have a name for this piece of art when they purchased it. And so they sent a personalized letter to the original artist, Child Hassam, asking, hey, what do you call this? And we have the letters of correspondence back and forth. And I think that's just a great additional feature to this painting. This is the light that doesn't get enough attention, but it is one of the best in the house. It's just the chandelier is so cool that it overshadows this one. But this one's just got a ton of great little details to it as well. So I'll give a little pause for people to take a look at it. And to Bob's question earlier, this is the ceiling of the formal dining room. And legend has it that it came in 14 different original sections, and then it was put into place, and that one of the stories even that the Italian sculptor had to come and then help put it in himself. And then the other legend that I used to say on tour when I was a student at UMD, sorry for people who heard this on tour back then, is that we actually had a second copy of the ceiling just in case a section of it broke. I'm here to tell you, unfortunately, and I've gone through every square inch of Glensheen now, I don't think there's a second copy, and I don't really know if this is 14 pieces. And even that whole legend, we can't track any truth behind that story, unfortunately. I will say more than likely it was just a design done by the interior designers, hired a skilled craftsman to do it. And there you go. Unfortunately, it would be a great piece of Minnesota artistry, but it's probably not quite the legend that it once was. Then again, people for years said the boathouse had a diving bell in it, and it turned out that it did. So that might be true. But I just want to be honest with folks that we are learning more and more about what may or may not have been true in the past on tour. But we took this close-up shot just to appreciate the just general artistry of it. You can't take that away. It is it's one of the best ceilings in the house. It'd easily be my best ceiling in my house or any of my friends' houses or my family's houses. So I don't mean to take too much away. It's a great piece. And this section right here really has even like an arts and crafts element to it. This is kind of fun. In one of the drawers inside the formal dining room are these little name tags, because when they would eat these very formal dinners back then, you'd have to have your name in front of your plate or behind your plate.
Daddy?
Yeah.
Can we have snack time?
Maybe after this is done, okay?
Okay.
And then here are some more. I just love the little extra decor on these pieces. My guess is these are from the 60s or 70s. But they're kind of fun. I'm guessing this is Helen Condon. Hey, Donnie. And this is one of the last pieces I'll talk about. But the Condon family, like a lot of Duluthians, they did buy some really great stuff from around the world. But they bought a lot of stuff locally, too. And I just love this little jewelry box from Bagley and Company from here in Duluth. It's somewhere in the dining room. And I really wonder where it's from. So, I will close out of this. and just say, thank you for watching today, guys. This is my daughter, Olivia. Part of us all going through COVID is we all, working from home. So give me a little bit of latitude, I guess, on that. And I personally think she's super cute. So you guys see one of the, just kind of fun to have her around too. So are you enjoying this, Olivia?
Yeah.
Good. So thank you again, guys. And yeah, hope everyone stays safe out there.